Our guest is around lots of people who watch the
See,
combine,
he could
lots of
tell.
tape and everything else. We love getting a few minutes with Eagles insider Dave Spadaro. Dave, exciting time for the team. How you doing, man?
Hey guys, how are you? Yeah, really exciting, and it's rare in the 25 plus years I've been doing this that I would say pretty much everybody is raving about the Eagles draft. I mean, there's always usually, hey, I like this, but I didn't like this. There's very little to not like about what the Eagles did last weekend.
You had a chance to kind of be there. You're an insider. You get to see how the inner workings of this go. What did you notice anything different about the way they handled this draft, or was it just pretty much business as usual?
Yeah, no. I mean, I think one thing when you go into a draft with a lot of assets, it really does give you a lot of options. And so, Howie had done a really good job of accumulating draft assets, capital. He'd made the trade with New Orleans a few weeks prior and set the Eagles up for the future. Got that extra third-round pick, dealt that third-round pick to Tennessee, so that helped them get A.J. Brown. It was just an opportunity that with 10 draft picks of their own, with some future selections, Eagles could move around a little bit and take some chances, which they did, and it mixed it up and it addressed some needs and went for kind of quality over quantity in terms of the number of drafts. Only 5 selections, and then A.J. Brown making it 6. But the Eagles figured that, and I think they read it right, that COVID had, a lot of players had taken advantage of COVID in the sense that they played an extra year, and there were a lot more players in this draft who had draftable grades on them. So the Eagles feel like they did a really good job in the post-draft period to kind of make up for that lack of quantity. So I don't think anything from a procedural standpoint changed. I just think that they had enough other pieces to play with, and Howie just used those pieces really well.
Let's get to those pieces that they had. They traded up with some of the pieces to get number 13, to get Jordan Davis. In one of your stories, you called him a mountain of a man.
He sure is.
Tell us about him and how he's going to fit into this Eagles defensive scheme.
Yeah, I mean, he's 6'6", 340-ish, something like that, and extremely athletic, extremely big, strong, great energy, plays very technically sound. Still has to develop, of course, at the NFL level. He'll work into the rotation at defensive tackle. I like the fact that he doesn't have to come in here and be a star right away or necessarily even be a starter right away, but he gets a chance to learn with Fletcher and Javon Hargrave and Milton Williams, and the Eagles are really strong at defensive tackle. So a solid move. They were 9th in the league last year stopping the run. He's excellent against the run. And the Eagles feel like he can move the pocket a little bit, rushing the passer. So a solid move. Look, not a maybe sexy pick. I mean, defensive tackles certainly aren't sexy picks, but I've always loved the way since the days of Andy Reid the Eagles have built from the line of scrimmage out, and this move certainly an indication of that kind of thinking.
They then packaged the 18th pick, which I believe was the Indianapolis pick from the Carson trade, and 101 to the Titans for A.J. Brown and give him a 4-year, $100 million extension. He is good friends with Jalen Hurts. He has, in his career, averaged 6.1 yards after catch reception. Tell us about A.J. Brown and what the team saw and how they realized he was available to make the move.
Kind of saw everything that you just talked about, and proven player in the league, nice body, different kind of body type, thicker, strong guy, really great compliment to Devontae Smith. Young, he's only 24 years old. Feels like he's been in the league a lot longer, but he only has been in the league for 3 years. Twice, Pro Bowl player with Tennessee, which is a run-based offense, so he really made the most of his opportunities. And, I mean, physical, just violent player who is going to be – he's already, electrified Eagles fans who have always been so interested in the wide receiver position. I just love the move. I just love it. I think that bringing in a player like that at the cost of 2 draft picks in this new world, this crazy world of wide receivers and the worth that they have, it's absolutely mind-boggling. So to get him for the 18th pick and that extra third-round pick, the 101, I really, really think that's a great, great value for the Eagles. And now he's signed through 2026.
You now have 2 legit number 1 receivers on this team that can play on the outside. Does this change how they run the offense next year?
I think it gives them more options to run the offense the way they want to. I don't know, change. They tried to throw the football down the field last year. Modicum of success. So, it's just going to be. I think all of a sudden, guys, what it does, the Eagles' offense is loaded. I mean, great offensive line, a run game that led the league in ground yards last year, a quarterback who's versatile, and I'll tell you what, I think Quez Watkins is a pretty darn good receiver too. So, I'll give you three. Two of them are legit number ones, Devontae and AJ, and then you have another interchangeable piece in Quez Watkins, who can also, as we saw last year, average 16 yards a catch, can get down the field, make big plays, can also run from the outside. So and Dallas Goedert, of course, outstanding tight end. Really, really good group of offensive skill position players and an offensive line that's just terrific. So I feel like, the offense got a ton better, and I do think that AJ, does he change it? Yeah. I mean, look, I still think they want to run the football. I don't think they're going to go pass. I think they've recognized, and Nick recognizes the value of running the football. But, boy, they can throw the ball now, and it's going to be tough for teams to match up against the Eagles.
To me, if I'm an Eagles fan, one of the things that I'm most excited about is the consistency of the offensive line. You have some young guys on this offensive line that are signed up that are going to be here for a while. And then even with the older players like Jason Kelce, they've now brought in, hopefully, his replacement, who Kelce had a hand in it actually trying to, or looking at.
His reaction was the best, Jason Kelce, all weekend when he was live on TV. He was hilarious.
Right. I mean, he actually is the best guy, right? Like, he's just a tremendous guy. And I think that it's important that it's all done transparently. We don't know how much longer Jason Kelce is going to play. Cam Jurgens today he met the media, and just a body honestly, I've never seen on a rookie, just like a rock solid, muscular, just athletic, explosive body, came with this incredible personality. Like, I'm looking at him going, he plays like Jason Kelce. He kind of talks like Jason Kelce. He's comfortable with the media like Jason Kelce. He's outgoing like Jason Kelce. Could this possibly be? So, but we're not done with Jason. He's got some time to play football here. And Cam, again, just like Jordan Davis, has a chance to come in and learn the game of football from the very best.
Yeah, but how does Cam look in a Mummers uniform?
Well, let's find out. Let's hopefully find out, right?
It does allow you, though, to leave Landon Dickerson on that left side with Jordan Mailata and kind of keep that, or the what they had going there intact, and now have a center option as opposed to moving Dickerson over. So it gives you some flexibility there going forward. I want to move back to the defensive side. The Eagles took linebackers, Dave. Fans will be very excited about this. I love the Nakobe Dean pick. I couldn't believe he was still there. I watched a little bit of the video where you and Fran Duffy and Greg Cosell were talking about the pick. Tell me about Nakobe Dean and how excited the Eagles were that he was still there at the 83rd pick.
And why was he still there?
Well, I think he's there because there are a lot of concerns about him. I think they feel like the NFL, and what's weird about that Nakobe Dean thing, it's not like one team has medical opinions and keeps it secret from another team. Everybody kind of shares the same medical opinions and research. And Nakobe played through all these perceived injuries. He's got he was on the field today, a pec injury, a little pec strain. He's been banged up with the shoulder. But what a career at Georgia. And somebody that everybody thought was going first round. And the Eagles are sitting there in the third round saying, well, we can't pass this guy up. And so leadership, intangibles off the charts, championship at Georgia, a stud, like the best player on the best defense in the league, or rather in the nation. So bring him in. Now, I think he's going to end up at weak side linebacker. Everybody's talking about him as a middle linebacker. I think there's a chance he'll play on the weak side and go get the ball, an off-ball linebacker. Really athletic, powerful, relentless. You just hope that he's not a huge guy. He's only 5'11"-ish, 225. So you just hope he stays healthy. I think that's the only thing that's going to hold him back.
Tell me about Kyron Johnson. I wasn't real familiar with him. Edge rusher, tackle. They got him in the 6th round.
Yeah. I think when you're at that point in the draft, you're looking for something special. He's really fast, special teams player initially, and we'll see if he develops get some strength, and can rush the quarterback. He's idolized Hassan Reddick, so that's a good thing that Reddick's on the team, and he'll get to learn from him. But if Johnson is to make the team and to make an impact, he'll have to do it on special teams first, and he's excited about that.
The rookies are in town. What have
The
you?
rookies are here. The rookies are here.
So the rookies are in town. From what you've seen so far, what have you learned about the rookies? What have you been impressed by about?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to talk about the football side of it because literally, like, they were wearing shorts today in the bubble. So there's no hot takes right now. But energetic.
Wait, hold on. Jason watches the combine. He gets a lot from that.
I knew that you weren't going to
Yeah,
let
well,
that go.
exactly. I heard you guys talking about that before I got on. Yeah. They literally, I mean, out of practice, first day they've been practicing for a long time. They ran around. They looked energetic, and we'll see. I mean, the guy who shined the most today is somebody that Eagles fans are really going to like. I think his name is Britton Covey from University of Utah. He's 5'8", 169, return man, slot receiver, quick as a hiccup. Nobody could cover him. That kind of guy. But again, there's no contact, there's no pads, there's none of that. So we have a long way to go before the preseason games where we can get a sense of what these players are all about. And then, when you get to the regular season, it's all different there. But I really think the Eagles are headed in the right direction. They've gotten a lot better on the roster. And, everybody's extremely optimistic, and the energy level's great at NovaCare. And I think the Eagles feel like they knew they had to nail the draft, and I think they felt they did.
Talk to us about the next few months with this team. They feel like they nailed the draft. Obviously, they'll still look for players that may be cut for salary reasons, potentially still looking for a defensive back, somebody there. But how does the team feel about what they've done addressing their needs in the offseason? Obviously excited about what they've gotten, but when they take a step back, how do they evaluate the team as a whole at this point?
Yeah, I think that they feel like they're heading in the right direction, building, always going to look out for obvious areas of need. I mean, I think we would agree, right, that they would be wise to keep their eyes open at cornerback and perhaps safety as well. So there will be players released. It's just a matter of when a player's released, everybody wanted the honey badger. All these fans, we got to sign Tyrann Mathieu. Well, Tyrann Mathieu signed a huge deal with the Saints, and we'll see how long he lasts. But the Eagles aren't in position to give huge deals right now. They've kind of got to do what they did last year with Steven Nelson, who came in and was very professional at the cornerback spot, starting opposite Darius Slay. That's the kind of player you're looking to acquire here between now and training camp. And there should be opportunities to do that. A solid veteran looking for a chance to be on the roster, and Steven Nelson turned that opportunity into, a $10 million deal elsewhere. So I guess Indianapolis, I don't know where he was, where he signed, maybe Indianapolis, I forget. But but there's not going to be a $30 million guaranteed contract that the Eagles can give right now. They are up against the cap. They've done a really good job. They do have some holes. They will keep their eyes open, but they're going to have to be really good here and get somebody who is looking for fair compensation and a chance to play and vault into the next offseason.
I wanted to close by asking you about Jalen Hurts. Obviously, we talked about the relationship with A.J. Brown, the weapons that he's going to have this year. Saw some comments the other day. It's my team. He seems to be embracing the role that he has. Talk about the position that he's in as they start this season, and also the pressure that he's under to now become the guy here.
Yeah, I think he's really excited about that, and he should be. He's in his third season. The Eagles have built around him. We're going to find out a lot about Jalen Hurts, and I think that a competitor like him, somebody who's been ups and downs in his career, as you know, at Alabama, doesn't feel the pressure, doesn't feel any sort of extra added scrutiny. He's always had that. So I think that when players see what happens around them, they feel really great. They understand that it's on them. And to me, Jalen's the kind of guy who wants it to be on him. He likes that sense of responsibility. So we will look. The Eagles have updated and upgraded, and they've got blue chip talent on offense around Jalen Hurts. There's every reason to believe that this is going to be an outstanding offense. That said, defenses are going to try to, if you have to pick a poison, you're going to try to force Jalen Hurts to beat you from the pocket. And I've said this for 2 years now. His next step is winning, throwing the football from the pocket or moving outside the pocket, but winning by throwing the football. That's what happens in the playoffs. You don't win with a running quarterback in the playoffs. It just doesn't happen. Look around the league. Quarterbacks who are mobile, that's great. But the quarterback has to be able to win from the pocket as well. And that's Jalen's next challenge.
Well, it's been an exciting offseason so far. Definitely look forward to your coverage leading up to camp's opening and then the season. Always appreciate you giving us a few minutes to talk about everything, and take care of yourself, man.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me on anytime.
Appreciate it. Take care.